Dan, how do you view social media today? How big it is, and how it's such a big part of people's lives, and how it affects business? What's your point of view?
Well, as you know, I said healthcare, telco, stroke, internet were the two places to get involved.
Back in the
for 30, 35 years.
Back in 80s.
But I underestimated social media, and I was late to the game in social media. But again, I underestimated how effective yourself and the mentees of mine that are in what I call the merchandising of services and products online. It's unbelievable. As we discussed before we went on camera, it's unbelievable how many people and how many times they look at the for example, YouTube. How many times they continue to look at it. Of course, there's Facebook. There's various other things. There's LinkedIn, which is a great tool for my personal preference for QLA and building dream teams. But I mean, it's everybody's underestimated it. And the growth, as you described, from 1,000 users on YouTube to 1 million users on YouTube is virtually overnight. And nobody could have even for a microsecond thought that was possible. But it also gives way to how much money Facebook and these other social media companies are paying for these companies. And I thought, why would they pay $3 billion for that? Why would they pay $1 billion for that? And of course, because they're looking for a return on their investment, and social media is there to give it to them.
And we were just joking because you have some students saying that, oh, the old QLA, because Dan Lok is successful because it's the old QLA, right? Now back then we're talking about VHS tapes. I still have those. The cassette tapes in the blue binder. I still have those in my library. It's like my prized possession, right? Now it's difficult to find a cassette tape player.
Yeah. Now, if you went into a car, most people watching this don't know that there used to be sections in cars right under the radio where you put these tapes in. Yeah. And of course, that's archaic now.
Yes.
But back in, I was telling Dan earlier, some of the kids say, well, Dan Lok was successful because the old QLA.
The old QLA.
And that's what he's laughing about. We didn't have any of the social media outlets. No. We didn't have the webinars.
No webinar.
There was no mentor program.
Yeah, no, because we went to the castle. That was it.
And then I kicked you out and you're off on your own.
Yeah, that's it. There was no 12-month mentorship, accountability, webinar.
Correct.
And I bet, I'm sure that the QLA method, after each time you teach it, you also evolved, right?
Oh yeah. The seminar we just closed a couple of weeks ago is not even remotely the same as 2 or 3 years ago, and as of August last year, we've had 3 seminars. It continues to morph and continues to do best of best practices. What's working for the kids today, not what worked for Dan Lok 15 years ago, 12 years ago.
Back then, even we were talking about acquisitions. It was Dan was teaching us sending an actual letter out.
Correct, a letter.
Like an actual envelope
with
stamps, right? Not like an email or LinkedIn or none of that stuff, right?
Yeah, and now it's unbelievable. Of course, now we have systems that says LinkedIn, call LinkedIn, or call LinkedIn, call. But it's nowhere are we sending letters out.
No, and now I think you also actually give them templates too.
Oh, we have processes, procedures, systems, and templates.
So fucking lucky, man.
Yeah.
You guys are so lucky.
But they still complain, and so
they still complain.
Oh yeah, they complain because although we've created billions in the last few years, they want to know what's the easiest. They're always asking me for tips, shortcuts, and there are no tips or shortcuts.
No.
100 hours a week, and you find all the tips and shortcuts you want.
I think part of it, why I have such respect for Dan, is when I had no money, when I asked him to just, when he offered to meet with me, I flew to Los Angeles. Sure, Dan doesn't have to do that. His time is valuable. I was just a doofus kid with nothing, nothing. There's nothing I could offer to him at all, zero.
You had a baggy suit on.
That's it, that's it. And a cheap shoes, cheap leather shoes, that was it. But then he gave me the time And I have such respect because even now, seeing what Dan does, offering QLA to the world, well, he doesn't have to. He a lot of stuff that actually he doesn't have to do. Like for me, like teaching for 7 days to a group of young kids, that takes a lot of energy because I do teaching as well. Clearly, he doesn't have to. He could easily say, hey, you know what? I'll do one, I'll record it, and you guys want to get it, you guys can get it. He could easily do that, but he doesn't. Even now launching the hardcore QLA, which is like a more advanced version
Correct.
about deal making. This is truly his passion because I've been with him for now 12 years, more than 12 years. I could see that. The most epic event of this century, the Oscar for high ticket closers. Closers in Black, 2019. The $50 billion man, Dan Peña, the king of high ticket sales, Dan Lok. Get your ticket today.